Hi, this is Daniele Parker.
And this is Christy Parsons. All right. Today we are going to talk about visibility.
Sounds pretty simple.
It does sound simple, but I almost think it's one of the hardest things to do because all the busyness, everybody wants a piece of us as leaders. District office wants a piece of us. Parents want a piece of us. Teachers want a piece of us. Everybody wants a little piece, right? And so, beginning of the school year, all year long, but really you set the tone of who you are as a leader at the beginning of the school year.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about this. Where are some places that we know are so important to start the school year strong and then stay the course? Don't go backwards, stay the course.
Christy, I think one of the areas that I think is so easy is in the mornings during the first thing when students are being dropped off, when kids are entering the building. A very easy time to be visible and to be available.
Yes, it's very easy. This is one of the things, though, that we had to stop because parents also come in at the morning wanting to talk to you right then because their kid came home and teacher wrote a note or something happened on the bus. So their time is they're like, okay, well, I'm just going to go run in and talk to this principal before my work day starts because I've got to get to work. So the best time is I'll take you to school. I'll just jump in and talk to that administrator and I'll just go on about my day. That's how parents. So we had a nice size, not every day, but that's when the time usually happened. So one of the things that we had to put in place was the secretary or the receptionist, whoever was greeting parents, would say, Ms. Parsons and Ms. Parker are with students right now. This, I can set a time for you to come back. We'll get you time on the calendar because they really want to speak to you about this. Or they'll call you back, usually around 9. They can call you back at this time, or we can make it. They could call you back. You can come back up, or you can sit and wait for 30 minutes because I always had a morning time that we greeted, and then it was about because our school started at 7:30, tardy bell 7:50. So about 8:30, I would come in and see any parent that we had an emergency. So they could wait. Most of them didn't. Most of them would say, let me make an appointment. But there was probably 2 years we didn't do that. And guys, it was exhausting. It was exhausting to me. It was exhausting to the teachers because they didn't see me in the mornings. The kids didn't see me. And it just set the day for kind of chaos because I was intervening on problems at the very beginning of the day. And also, I love this. I don't know who I heard say this, but when you go to a doctor, you can't just walk in and say, I need you right now. You have to wait for the doctor and your appointment. Any other business, any business, name a business.
Yeah.
You're not
A
going to
bank.
just a bank.
You have to wait.
Got to wait. So you got to wait for the person to say, you can come in my office. So it's just, that is the easiest. But I think it's the time that you can get sidetracked easily if you don't have it as part of your natural day.
Absolutely. Christy, I was working with an assistant principal one year and struggle with visibility, right? The campus admin team was struggling with visibility. That was something that teachers were saying that they don't see their administrators. They don't see their administrators. And so I was like, okay, so talk to me about your morning. What is your morning routine? What does that look like? And so typically they would be out maybe at buses or something, come in and they get in their office and then they're putting out fires inside their office, responding to emails, they're like bus discipline that came in overnight or anything like that.
Emails.
They're just getting sucked in. And then they're like, and then I had an ARD and then I got called for discipline. And so they kind of just got put in this black hole. And so what I suggested was, okay, here's what I want you to do. Those emails, they can wait.
Yes.
They can probably wait another 10 minutes. If it's a crisis, somebody's going to call you. Like they will call you. They will find you. So what I want you to start doing is when you finish at the buses, you're going to go walk. You're going to go walk the building and you're just going to pop in and you're going to say, good morning. How are you? How's it? Hey, glad to see you. How are you doing? Need anything? I said, you're just going to go around.
Yeah.
I said, and if it takes a long time today, what you're going to do is this morning, you're going to go through and you're going to do all the bottom floor. And then tomorrow you're going to go on the second floor. And you're just going to do that every morning. And you're going to get in the habit. Now, again, if there's a crisis, they're going to find you and you're going to have to go take care of the crisis.
Right. But it shouldn't be every day.
the bulk of it is you should be able to go
Mm.
through. So sometimes just making a habit before you even step foot in your office, before you even open that email, of going around and you've checked in with everybody. And
Yeah.
so, because if you wait till the end of the day,
It doesn't
doesn't
happen.
happen.
Doesn't
But
happen.
if you do it first thing in the morning,
Mhm.
first thing in the morning. And Cristi, I think this is also really important. Calendar yourself time to go out. So if there's a big transitional time, whether it's during lunches, maybe there's a big transition during recess times, and you know you have a break during that time, make yourself get up and go do that time.
Mhm.
That is your time to go, "Hey, how's it going? How's your day going? Hey,
Yeah.
how's it been?" Like,
Yes.
you can go and talk to people during that time. And so I think sometimes we feel like we've got to go in every classroom and we need to go spend 15
You
minutes in every
don't have
classroom, be
to.
visible.
Mm-mm.
Pop by, just wave,
Yes.
just say good morning. How are
Mhm.
you? Those are times to connect with people as well. And I think that's so important for people to see.
And I like when you said you don't have to see everybody every day in the morning. I like that because that was also stressful for me because I really was like, okay, I put a lot of stress. Like, I want to see every staff face every morning. Well, we had a huge staff. So I love that. Yeah. Break up, do maybe this hall, and then see everybody at least a couple times a week.
Yeah. I mean, and there's some times where you might get through the whole day.
Yeah, you might.
I
Yes.
mean, there is a possibility. And for those of you that are able to do that for whatever size your campus is, that is amazing. And so
Yes.
that's great. Cristi, I've been a principal of a big campus and I've been a principal of a small campus. And when I was a principal of the small campus, I did see my staff every
Yes.
day.
Yeah.
There was no excuse for me not to be
Not
able to go
to.
see my people every
Yes.
day.
Yes.
But when it was a big campus, that didn't necessarily happen, but I did get out there a lot. And so our teams also met. And so even if I couldn't be in that team meeting for some reason, I would make a point to stop by.
That's right.
Or, "Hey, I'm not gonna be there today at y'all's meeting." I would go stop by the team lead. "Do
See
y'all
your
need
face.
anything?" Or even after, "Hey, I hate that I missed y'all's meeting today. How was it? Everything good? Do y'all need anything from me?" So they knew I was still aware
Mhm.
of what time that they met. Maybe they had something going on. But again, visibility doesn't mean something that's gonna take a lot of your time. It's just literally getting out of your office.
And then I'm going to share something that I learned that I wish I could go back and fix because I messed up. And I was such a young principal, I didn't even know to do this. And then I've coached a young principal that had the same issues, and I was able to help her because of my lessons. But when we were putting together the two when we were working the year before that we joined campuses to two elementaries, I was pulled for district office meetings every
All the time.
single day, sometimes multiple
I was her
times.
assistant principal. I can vouch
Yes.
for
So
this.
she was really the principal. I was not on campus. And I was so young and I didn't know any better. I just did it. Like, okay, well, I'm supposed to do this. But I'm going to tell you, it didn't sit well with me. I
Right.
struggled with it. I mean, like, I'm about to tear up thinking about it. I want to cry because I was just doing what I was told to do. And about 3 years ago, I coached a brand new principal, same thing. She was being called her calendar was all district meetings, and I told her, I said, "You're going to have to speak up.
Yes.
You're going to have to talk. You are the voice for your campus." And I said, "Do not do what I did because I was too I'm not too scared. I just didn't know. I didn't know that I could say no. You can say no." And so she did that. She was like, "You know what? Th I want you to look at my calendar. This is how much time I'm in district office. I need this amount of time each day on my campus." And guess what? They worked with her and they figured it out and they made some days that were sacred to the campus.
So, Cristi,
So be a voice for yourself.
be a voice for yourself. But here's what I want to talk about though. And I think this is a trend. And if you're a principal, you have probably experienced this too. It is the way you present the information, though. You stand up for yourself, but you need to stand up for yourself in a respectful, professional
Yes.
manner. So I think that oftentimes we talk about setting boundaries and we need to set healthy boundaries. Yes, but we also need to do it in a professional manner
Mhm.
that we're not trying to deflect or put off the responsibility. So, Cristi, one thing I heard you say that you told her to do was sit down with them and say,
Show them
"Here
the
is my
calendar.
calendar."
Show them. They didn't
Show
know.
them.
They didn't realize.
And that's the thing.
They
You
didn't
can't go
realize.
in attacking.
No, they didn't realize. They didn't have the data.
Because you could go in with a calendar and say, "Look at my calendar. You all are
Yeah.
taking all my time," instead of just like,
They didn't know.
"Hey, I need your help
Yeah, I need help.
because
Go on my
I
campus.
want to make sure that I'm opening this new campus to be successful, but I also don't want to let down my current campus because right now they're facing a lot of uncertainty and change as well, and they need to see me, and I want them to know I'm still here for them. I don't want them to feel like I'm out the door.
Right.
And so, can you help me look at this schedule and figure out how we can is there a way to adjust these things so that way I can make sure that there's time on my campuses? And you go in trying to find a solution.
Solution. And they did. And she was actually surprised. She said, Christy, I would have never had that conversation because I, in my head, already thought they would say no. And they didn't. Th the actual assistant superintendent said, "I had no idea you're off campus that much." Even though she saw her in all these meetings, it didn't click to her that because she was just doing her job, right? And so together they came up with a solution. So you're exactly right. But don't be nervous to say, to show someone, "This is how much I'm off campus." And they hired you to be the principal. They
Yes.
hired you to be the assistant
Your
principal.
first job as a principal.
They hired you to be that. So really do say something about it. So then visibility. Okay, so this is one of my favorite quotes, I think for myself. I don't know if I stole it, but I think it is my quote. You'll let me know if it's
I'll let you
not.
know.
It might be hers. I don't know. I think it's mine. It the your calendar is a reflection of what you value.
I think you said it.
I think I did. I'm gonna take ownership of it.
You take it. I'll
Okay.
do it.
So that is true though.
Yeah.
Your calendar is a reflection of what you value. And once again, I learned the hard way because my calendar did not show that I valued my staff. And that is the last thing I want. And they felt it and I felt it, and it's the last thing I wanted. So we Daniele's so good at organization. So she really did she taught me a system of okay, this is the time that we're gonna be in classrooms, and we didn't make it the same time every day. So, this is the time you do discipline, I'll do discipline. This is the time that we'll call back parents. So we actually calendared our week ahead of time to block off times that we could do that.
Right. Because I
And
think
did it change sometimes? Yes, but at least we had a
we came in with a
draft.
plan.
Draft. Yeah.
Because what happens is if you go in with no plan,
Yeah.
then nothing. And I see that often
Mhm.
with administrators trying to do evaluations and observations.
Mhm.
They don't schedule those, and then
Then comes December and they're like, "Oh
they
my
don't have any of them
goodness, I
done.
don't have them done."
Well,
Yeah.
Christy, okay, visibility. I
Yes.
think also, and we talk about observations because oftentimes a lot of us administrators will try to get formal observations done in the fall. We try to get walkthroughs done. But if you have a formal observation for a lot of states, those are scheduled. You usually have a pre conference with teachers,
Right.
honor that time.
Oh,
If
please.
you say you're going to go do an observation on somebody or you're going to have that meeting with somebody,
Honor.
you honor that time. Part of being visible is honoring the time you say you're committing to your staff. So
Yes.
if you say you're going to be there, it is absolutely essential that you are there. If there is a change, you are personally picking up the phone or you are personally walking down and seeing that teacher and you
Yes.
are letting them know,
Oh, goodness.
Christy, I think part of the thing with visibility, and this was an interesting thing. I got to cover a campus and, I had often heard from people on this campus about visibility, not seeing the administrators, not seeing people. So, and I had somebody shadowing me that day. And I told them when we were taking care of a discipline thing, I said, we're going to walk back and we're going to follow up in person with this teacher. We're not going to send it via text. We're not going to send it via email. We want this person to know that this has been taken care of. This is what happened. This is what we did because we want them to know that we have their back, right?
Yes.
So as we're walking, another teacher stops us and says, "Hey, can I just tell you about something? I'm not sure what to do with this." So they briefly told us, and I said, "Oh my goodness, absolutely. We're going to be right back. We've got to go take care of this one situation. If you're not here, where is your class heading?" And so she was like, "We'll be back in our room." I said, "Okay, if we're not back here in time, we will come to your room. I promise we'll be there in just a few minutes." And so we went and we followed up with the other teacher, and we went to that teacher and we followed up again. Yeah, that would have been multiple emails.
Yes.
That could have been a 2-day event
Yeah.
that took place. We had that situation taken care of within an hour.
Yes.
Less than that.
Less
From
than
the time that they told us till we investigated, till we contacted parents and had followed up with the teacher, literally had been an hour.
Yeah.
And that teacher went back to the person that had been the sub administrator with me that was learning with me that day. And they just said, "Thank you so much for coming and talking to me." I think our phones and
Yeah.
technology have taken away from that face and being present. They want to see us. They don't want to just see a text message.
Yeah.
They don't want to just see an email.
Right.
Our
They wanna see
teachers
you.
and our students want to see our faces.
Mhm.
So get those steps in, go
Yes.
follow up in
Yes.
person, and then you're
See?
visible. Like,
Yes.
you are taking care of multiple things without realizing you're taking care of multiple things. You're being visible. People know you're on campus. You maybe get to high five that kid. You maybe get to reinforce a positive behavior you saw, and you get to follow up with that teacher, and they know that you've taken care of it. There's been
Mhm.
follow through and that you're present, that you're there for them. And sometimes in that, they may tell you something that's going on.
Yeah.
You might see a celebration going on in their room.
Yes.
You may
They may
think of
tell you
something
something
else.
personal,
Yes.
and then you have a different relationship you're building.
Yeah, and they'd be like, "Hey, while I've got you,
Yeah.
can I just show you this really fast?" And
Yes.
it's a celebration that
It's
you would have missed out on if you hadn't been physically present in
and
that moment.
and if you are getting stuck in chaos all day long, every day in crisis moments, there's something wrong with the system. There's something wrong with your system. And that's also what I'm seeing. Principals like, I can't be visible because I'm reacting. So that's what I'm saying. If you have a prevention of instead of reacting, you know what? Most, I would say 95% of things can wait a minute or two. You do not have to react to everything. This one school I worked with, every time that walkie-talkie thing would go off for a kid, I'm not kidding you, they had
Oh,
a principal and 3 assistant principals. It was a huge campus, but they all ran to that one crisis.
so one 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old was taking 4 professionals.
Yes, yes, because they didn't have a system.
Uh-huh.
So that's what Danielle and I worked out, and then Ruthie and I did too. Is okay at this time of the day is when I'll take care of the walkie talkies. You'll take, and we took turns, but we had that planned, and that was prevention, so we didn't have to react. So if you find yourself not being visible because you're always in crisis, reactive chaos, you need a system.
Well, Christy, and the other thing is too, you went into leadership with a love and a passion for serving people, right?
Yes,
We all went into education because we wanted to make a difference for kids. That relationship, that's our joy,
yes,
right? It's
it's our
the
joy.
kids. It's when we get so caught up in crisis mode. Not only is it having a negative effect on us physically, but
Yes,
our emotional well-being and our love and passion for what we're doing
burns
is
out.
being hurt, and we're going to burn ourselves
Yeah,
out. And
that's when the flame goes.
and sometimes when if you are in your office and you are just feeling beat down, that is the most critical time for you to get up, go find your happy places. There are certain locations on your campus that bring you joy.
Yes.
It can be a classroom, it could be a specific grade level, a
Playground. I don't know if
playground.
anyone ever says cafeteria. I actually liked the
I
cafeteria.
don't like the cafeteria. I'm
See,
so
I
glad you loved
did.
it.
I did.
It gives me stress and
But
anxiety.
I don't like outside.
Yeah.
And you liked the
I'll go walk
playground.
out there.
Yes.
But there were some rooms I would go into that would just brought so much joy because of the teachers watching them do their craft brings
Mhm.
me joy.
Me too.
And so there were just sometimes I would go in a room, they're like, "Do you need anything?" I was like, "No, I just need my happy place for a minute, and this is just gonna be my happy place." And that one, it gave them like, "I'm one of your happy places?" I'm like, "Yes."
Yes.
I just need to see kids. I just need to see this. This makes me happy. And so, again, it helps your visibility, but then it helps recenter us and our
Yes.
purpose of why we're here. And when I've got to go tackle that difficult parent call back or that email that I'm trying to figure out how to craft, like it kind of just gives me that refresh, that
Mhm.
reboot, and it just gives me the clarity to be able to go back and refocus and handle that in a way that would be professional or it's going to have a positive
An
outcome.
authentic way. Yes.
Yes. Instead of an
And
exhausted
let's talk
crisis mode
about
response.
accountability too. We all need accountability partners. And so I've just been blessed to have people around me that hold me accountable. But one of the people that held us accountable was our administrative assistant, our secretary.
Oh, we had
And
some good ones.
whoa, so good.
They were good at
So
holding
good.
us accountable.
So good. But one of the things I had to express, and so when we're talking about communicate with people, I would say, Jeanette, listen, I sometimes can get stuck in my office because I start 5 projects and I don't finish one of them. But so if you see me in my office more than so many minutes, come get me out and have me go walk. And so having that accountability partner where she would watch my time and
Mhm.
she would come get me and say, "You've been in here a while."
So Kathy, one of my other secretaries, was really good about pulling me back in for meetings. She'd be like, "Hey, heads up, you've got an
Yeah.
art in 10 minutes."
Yes.
And I'm like, "Oh gosh, okay, thank you." Because I'm out in rooms and
Yes.
because that's where I find my joy.
That's where you
And
found your
so,
joy.
having that person to pull us back so that we are Or they were great about if we were in a meeting and they would knock on the door and they'd be like, "Hey, 5-minute warning, you've got a formal
Yes,
observation in 5
yes.
minutes." Like,
They were our keeper of our time, both of them,
yes.
Kathy and Jeanette, yes.
So have your keeper of your times. And Christina, talking about accountability too, there was an accountability you and I both had for being out in classrooms too.
Mhm.
I love technology. If you know my other side of my life, I do a lot of instructional technology stuff. So
We'll be
tech,
talking about that too.
a lot of instructional tech things out there, and I love technology, but I'm gonna tell you, I also think technology also has its handicaps, and I think there are some things that we need to do that hold us accountable, that are easier to
So
see
be
than
visible without your technology sometimes in classrooms,
will
that's what
be
you're saying?
visible without your technology. But what I was gonna say
Oh,
is
sorry.
we had a clipboard,
Yes,
and we had every staff
yes.
member's name written
I
on
loved
it,
this.
and we would just put a date
Mhm.
when we even if it was a quick visit,
Yep.
it wasn't necessarily a formal, but we would just date it when we went and visited that room, and so Christy would know when I had gone out to rooms. I knew when Christy had gone out to
Mhm.
rooms, and in that way, she wasn't, like, expecting me, like, "You must go do X amount of rooms this many every
Helped
day."
me see who I needed to go see.
But it made me accountable for myself.
Yeah,
Like, even though I knew she never
yeah.
had a reason to question me, but I knew, like, she saw it.
Mhm.
Like, I don't want Christy to think I didn't see any classrooms in the last 2 days. So I'm out there
Yeah,
booking it to
yeah.
go visit classrooms because I want Christy to know that I've been in these rooms. And so then Christy would also do the
That's
same,
my
and I would be able to
accountability.
see.
Mhm.
And I would
Do you
see.
think I wanted to ask her to be in classrooms and she looked at the check thing and Christy's name's never on there?
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a mutual accountability. But then we would also see, like, okay, none of us have been in the first grade hallway.
That was huge because I didn't even know, but I naturally would not go in some sections. I don't know why. But I don't know, it's weird. It's kinda like you know how you sometimes when you go in the airport, you always go to the left or you always go that's what I was doing. So it did
Hmm.
show me some areas I would stay away
Yeah.
from not even meaning
And so we
to.
just had a mutual clipboard that we kept it outside of her office. We
Yeah,
just had a mutual location we
yeah,
would put it.
easy.
And when we'd come back in, we would just initial all the rooms we went and visited.
Mhm,
And
easy.
then it was very easy to see. But I think sometimes we either, like you said, we make it too hard. We make these spreadsheets on the spreadsheets, and then we have to go in. Someone has to go in and they have to type it in. Then you
Yeah.
have to pull it up. Stop.
Don't do that.
Stop.
Easy.
Like, we're overcomplicating things. Make a staff list. I made a staff list to make sure that, like, if we were doing things, I need to just check off that I had done it for them. Like, I use that checklist for all sorts of things, but just going and being visible in those rooms was so important. Because if neither one of us had been in that room all week, one of us needed to be in there
Yeah,
at some point.
that's
And
right.
so, even if it has been a crazy week, like, okay, our goal is at least get to everybody once.
Yep, once a week.
So we could at least go through and say, okay, we've been in there. Or if we knew we hadn't been in that person's room all week, that was our goal on Monday.
Yeah,
But again,
that's right. It was nice. Oh,
right?
I forgot I loved that part.
And that piece of paper was, like, wrinkled and, like, folded,
Yes.
but no one
Who
cared,
cares?
and
Keep it stupid simple.
gosh, yes,
Simple. Let's not make
simple.
things difficult.
So don't make being visible
Yeah.
overcomplicated.
Just get out
Just
there.
get out there. Put your device away. If it's a crisis, they will find you. If it's a crisis, they will radio your name specifically over the radios.
Mhm.
And again, if you find that you're always
In
having
crisis.
multiple people respond,
Mhm.
if you're getting constantly pulled, go back and
Systems.
look at your systems.
Mhm.
And Christy, I
We'll
think that's
talk
gonna be
about
a
this I
podcast.
know, we'll talk about systems in another podcast because we love that.
Yeah, we have some systems in place that we can definitely share you
Yes.
with, but be visible right now at the beginning of the year. Make it your goal to just be visible.
So we would love for you to comment about where you find this to be simple and where you find it be complex. So yeah, share some ideas with our
Share with
guests.
us and
Share
with
with
other
us. We
guests.
want to learn from everyone. So remember to embrace your imperfections and celebrate your wins.
Until next time.